Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Power Hour with your host, moi, Lauren Powers. And this is season 1, and I'm so excited to bring on our next guest. She's not only the queen of wealth, which we'll get into, because I'm the what? Queen of health. So together we're the queens. we love that. We have a whole skit for you. But her name is Olympia, and she's got lots to talk to you about. Because the premise of the show is for female entrepreneurs to do tips and tricks on how to be healthy, wealthy, and happy. So with that combination, you cannot lose. Olympia, I know you've got so much information to share with our listeners. I'm so excited to have you on the show. I'm proud to call you my friend. I'm blessed and honored that you're here, and I know you've got a lot to share. So with no further ado, I'm going to let you tell me a little bit about yourself and then your topic. I know it's so much fun. I don't even want to say it. Let the cat out of the bag. I want you to share the info because it's fun and exciting, and we are going to have some fun with this. So everybody stay till the end because Olympia's got some gifts for you. I know she does because all my friends lead with the heart, and we're all generous leaders. Right. So stay tuned and take it away, girlfriend.
Thank you, Lauren. It's so good to be here with you, the Queen of Health. So I'm Olympia Hostler, and I empower women to become wealthier so that they can make a bigger difference and they can give back more. Yes. Just like Mother Teresa, J.K. Rowling, and Melinda Gates, a few ladies you may have heard of who are making a huge difference. So that's it in a nutshell, what I do. But a little bit deeper than that is I work with women leaders to be able to eradicate their self-sabotaging money blocks, to be able to have a hot, steamy relationship with money. Ooh, who doesn't want that?
Right.
And to have passive streams of income that work for you so you don't have to work for money. So
awesome.
That's a little bit about what I do. And now my background is I was a corporate executive at the age of 33, running multi-billion-dollar programs. I had 33 people working for me. I was on the top of the world by a lot of people's standards, even by my standard at that time. And I realized that I was miserable. There was a lot of things that I didn't like about working in that particular corporation. Not all corporations are like that, but this one was very, very much against my values. And so they also worked me to death, or shall I say, I worked myself to death. I was having a lot of health problems. I was getting an ulcer. I was having panic attacks in my 30s. I couldn't sleep at night. Like I broke a tooth because I was clenching my teeth so hard all the time. So I finally realized one day I woke up. Yeah, the stress was incredible. I was working 60 to 90-hour work weeks. I woke up one day and my intuition said, Olympia, you're going to quit your job today. And I'm having this little conversation with myself going, what do you mean? What are you talking about? It's like, yeah, today is the day. I'm like, oh, well, what about money?
Tomorrow.
What am I going to do? Like, I'm a planner. Like, I like to know where I'm going. I have these big goals and I'm always working toward them. And to not have a plan of what I was going to do next was a heck of a lot more frightening than quitting the job. It was like, well, what are you going to do? And my intuition said, you know what? We're going to tell you that after you take 1 year off, you're not going to work. You're going to find yourself. You're going to restore your health like the Queen of Health over here does. And so I was not allowed to be seeking wealth anymore for a year. And it was one of the best years I ever spent restoring my health.
Wow, that's powerful. Who told you? Your own intuition or your higher source? Yeah. I mean, you say
I call it my intuition. Some people call it their higher self. I mean, whatever it was his inner voice.
Okay.
And it was so clear and it was so confident and it was so strong that I just said, yeah.
Didn't ignore it. You didn't ignore it and took action. That's most people, we get those hits and then we just ignore it. And that's the big mistake because you're a living proof that it works.
Right. So if I had stayed in that job, I'm a firm believer that I would probably be dead. If I wasn't dead, I'd have a heck of a lot of health problems.
Wow.
And I certainly wouldn't be happy. Like, I'm definitely happy now. I'm happy. I love my life. I love other people's lives. I'm able to connect with other people. That was the other thing. I didn't have a social life. I didn't have friends that I spent any time with because all my time was working. Or the one thing I did do is I did work out for anywhere between 1 and 3 hours a day, but that was not a pleasurable working out. That was like a survival working out. And as I was working out, I was like, just getting the stress out. And then at about the 2-hour mark, it's like taking your dog out for a run and you're on the bike and the dog's running really fast. You're just trying to get the dog to wear out. That's what I felt like I was doing to myself.
Wearing yourself out.
I was wearing myself out.
Wow. There's a big difference though. But see, that's living proof that without your health, you would have had all this wealth. I'm sure you're making big money working all those hours as a young executive in the corporate world, but it could have killed you. Literally could have killed you.
Right.
And that's not worth it. It's not worth that. You had no friends, no social life. You were miserable. Yeah. And that's not what this show's about. This show's about how to be healthy and wealthy and happy. Exactly. You're a perfect example. So I'm so glad you're sharing this with us. So carry on, my darling.
So I took a year off and I just started finding myself again. It was hard at first because I was like, what am I going to do with myself? Like, I didn't really have a routine, or I didn't even really remember what I wanted for me. And so I started to meet my needs, and I started to really go within, like, Olympia, what do you need? What do you want? And so I started exercising like a normal human being, not one who was staving off the Grim Reaper, And exercise was fun. But then more than just exercise, and I'm sure you'll agree with this, Lauren, health is not just about exercising yourself to death. It's about creating this healthy harmony with the rest of your life. And part of that harmony for me was downtime, rest. Like, that pause between the notes is really what makes the music worth listening to and so beautiful. And I really learned that lesson.
The pause between the notes. I like that. That relaxing. Yeah, we've got to take care of ourselves. I mean, I'm the preacher of this. Putting yourself first. That self-love and self-care is critical. And it's not being selfish. It's being really smart, because everybody else suffers if you go down. It's that simple.
That's right. So if you have, if you have other people who you want or need to take care of, or you want to give back more, like the vast majority of women do, you have to put your oxygen mask on first.
Correct.
Right?
That's right.
But guess what, Lauren? That oxygen mask doesn't breathe itself. You still have to breathe. So you have to participate. You put the mask on, but then you still have to do some things.
That's right. Implement.
Right.
Take action.
Exactly. It's
right.
not just, I got the mask.
Now
the mask is not going to do it. You have to put it on and then action.
Exactly. Actually, and that's with everything in life, right? Not just within survival, but the lifestyle. So yeah, it's nutrition, it's the supplements, it's the exercise, it's what we put in our mouths, the diet, but it's the mindset is what it starts with. And we talk a lot about
that. What are you feeding your mind?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
First thing.
That's my specialty.
Most important. Yes, exactly. So yeah, so you got your health back. And so now how did you start? You took this year off, and then what happened?
Okay. Well, actually 1 year ended up being 2 years.
That's awesome.
After 1 year, I'm like, I kind of like this. I'd like to keep going. Let's just keep rolling. So it ended up being 2 years. Nice. And I was just like, I really got back to my true authentic self and who I am. I was living it. I was embodying it. And it was joyous. Like, I would wake up every morning just like, woohoo, what's going to happen today? This is going to be great. As opposed to when I was working in corporate America, you're going to love this, Lauren. Every morning I would wake up and I would do a self-inventory, because in my mind, one of the programs in my mindset was if I was sick enough, I didn't have to go to work. But that was the only reason why I wouldn't go to work. So I would take an inventory. Okay, are you sniffling? Are you coughing? Do you have a fever? Do you
Wow.
feel bad? Does your back hurt enough? Every morning I would do that before I went out of bed. And if I got through all of those and I'm like, no, I don't hurt enough to not go to work, or I'm not sick enough to not go to work, then I go, oh crap, I got to go to work. As opposed to 1 year to 2 years into my recovery, so to speak, I was like, woohoo, what's happening today? There's going to be something fantastic. Let's do this. Let's do that. I don't know.
That's how you are now. You're like that now because I know you. Every day is what can we do and what fun can we have today?
Exactly.
Right? Yeah. And change and help other people and especially women in their lives, especially on this wealth side of it. That's why I love that.
And so that was my beginnings to get into being of service to other people. Mm-hmm. During that time, I did a lot of meditations. I did a lot of clearing out of my mindset, my heart set, and my body set. Mm. And I really got clear on my mission. And my mission is to help other women succeed. There you go.
Period.
My oxygen mask on first. I got oxygen masks for everybody. Here you go. All you have to do is breathe.
Captain Olympia here.
That's right. Oxygen mask. That's the new superhero.
There you go. Speaking of superheroes, I brought this to share.
Oh, so cute. I love it. I love it.
The superhero girls. It says right on the box. This was a gift somebody gave to me, and I know you and I are both Wonder Women.
Yes.
Yay.
I love it. Oh, I love that mug. Fabulous.
The fine one. All these things were gifts because everybody knows I'm Wonder Woman as well as you. Queen of health and queen of wealth at your service. Here we are.
Here we are. Yeah.
So now you do this whole thing around money. So share us some of the tricks.
Oh my goodness. I have prepared a presentation.
Okay.
Is now a good time for that, Lauren?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. All right, let's do it.
Let's dive in.
We're going to share the screen.
Get your pens out, get your paper, take some notes.
Share the screen.
She's going to share how Olympia did it.
Let me get into slideshow.
I love the title, Would You Date Money? Yes.
That's right.
I'm single, I need a date. It'll be money. That's perfect.
So if you knew that you could have a hot, steamy relationship that was also a partnership with money, how quickly would you want that?
Yesterday.
Exactly. And I open up that question to the entire audience too. Yes, we get a lot of yesterdays. So I've already told you a bit about myself. So my company is called Women Choose Wealth, and I named it that for a reason, because it is a choice.
Absolutely.
It's not something that is unattainable. It's a thing where you choose it and then you take the proper steps. You can have it. And what it really starts with is clearing out, eradicating these programs that I consider a virus. Oddly enough, even before this COVID virus, I was calling it a virus, but now it's super buzzword.
Yes.
Because it's a virus that runs rampant in our mind, in our heart, and in our body. And we have to eradicate it there at the source, because so many people try to go right for the thoughts. People say, oh, I can just change my thoughts. I can change my thoughts with a thought about money. No, you can't. Wrong omens breath. Doesn't work that way.
I wish.
Yeah. If it was that way, we'd all have changed by now.
Yes.
Yes. And how do I know this? Because I used to swim 2 miles a day. And for 2 miles back and forth on that pool, I would say, I don't even know, 1 million affirmations. I don't know. It was a lot. They didn't work. So the reason they don't work is because they are working on the conscious mind. So up here, very superficially on your conscious mind, which is not the problem. It's not the source of the problem. So that's like putting a Band-Aid on your finger when you have a broken leg. Not Not really going to get it. Not really going to help.
Solution.
But, you might feel good because you got a Band-Aid on, but it's not really solving the problem.
Okay.
So here we are trying to change at the thought level, where the thoughts are the fifth of 7 steps of how you do money. So it's a process. We all do it. It's the same for everyone. Some of the details are different, but the process is the same. So if you try to change here at step 5, where the thoughts are, you've missed steps 1, 2, 3, and 4. By the way, 1 is the source. That's the engine that's driving all these thoughts. That's why we need to change back here at number 1, the mindset, heart set, and body set. Because if you don't, and you try to change here, you're just, well, okay, I'm not going to say that. I don't know what kind of show we're running here, Lauren. Okay,
We're
let me
adults.
give you another metaphor. It's unsustainable.
Okay.
Unsustainable. Very sustainable. So right now, just think about it. You're going throughout your day, things come up about money, and you're just running this automatic program, right? It's like the doctor hits your knee with that little thing and your knee goes like this.
Yeah.
That's what the program is. Boom. Yeah. You're just getting hit by that little thing. Boom. The program runs. It's like an operating system on your computer. It's just running all the time. You don't have to think about it. You don't have to, try to bribe it with ice cream. You don't have to talk nice to it or, ask it questions. It just does its thing. So just like it does its thing right now, which is faulty programming, once you change it back here at the source, then you have changed it for good. And that is the new program. No maintenance required. It's fantastic. Okay. So I wanted to share with you this little story. My boyfriend and I were driving in his big old truck. He's got a big old
that car. I'm like, yeah.
Not in that car, but that car drove by us on the freeway.
Okay.
And my boyfriend said, I think it's a Lamborghini. I'm not sure.
It is.
But okay. So he says, wow, that's a nice car. I'm like, yeah, it's a beautiful car. And he goes, don't you want that car? I want that car. Like, I would take that car in a heartbeat. And I'm like, yeah, it's a beautiful car, but I would take the car, or I would receive the car. I would turn it in for cash and then do what I want with it. I would do what I really want to do.
With the money.
Because that car doesn't have a lot of value to me. Right? To him, it has huge value. Like for him, he's going for the prestige, for the fast driving. I don't like to drive fast. Doesn't do anything for me. It's very low. I got some back stuff going on. So when I bend over, I'm like, I'm sure the seats are hard. They're not that comfortable. I'm like, no, I want heated seats. I want luxury. I want to step across. Like for me, that's the process I go through. And we all have this going on. So for me, I'd rather turn it into an ATM. What would I ask you and your viewers? What would you choose? Because it is a choice.
That's right. We all have a choice.
Right. So how is your relationship with money? You don't have to answer, but we ponder the point. Is it more like over here? We've got the gloves on and these stern looks on our face.
No, I embrace it.
Like this, kind of warm and fluffy and
yes,
very lovey-dovey. Because that's what it can be. Okay. So have you heard of this new money dating app called plentyofmoolah.com?
No.
Of course you haven't, because I just created it.
You're hilarious.
I do have that URL though, so nobody else can get that.
Okay.
But I have created for us here a money dating app. Do you want to go in and see what we can find?
Yes.
Some potential dates?
And then you're going to go over the 7 steps, so right, on how we do the money. Because you just said one is source.
I can do that. I actually don't have that slide prepared, but I will talk about that.
Because you said 1 and number 5.
And number 5.
You said, but we don't know what 2, 3, and 4 are.
That's right.
Or 6 and 7.
That's right.
That's right. Secret.
That's a secret.
There you
You have
go.
to talk to me later for all the secrets.
Exactly.
I can't let all the cats out of the bag right now. I'd have no cats. All my cats would be gone.
Funny.
I'm just kidding. I love having fun with you. Okay, so here we are. We are in the Plenty of Moolah. There she is.
All right.
Plentyofmoolah.com. This is the first profile we come across. Jerky Richard. He's representing our common experience of money. For many people, it's not so pleasant. It can also be painful, not necessarily painful, but it could be. And so on his profile, you know how they always write on there, if you like, or I'm, they talk about themselves. So here's him representing the common experience, negative experience of money. And he says, if you like talking about me a lot, if you like working really hard for me, if you enjoy sacrificing for me, then I'm your Mr. Icky Right. And you go, ew, ew, no.
No Jerky Richard.
No Jerky Richard. So a refresher for those people who need a refresher on dating apps, when you swipe left, that means no, that person goes away. Right. You're saying no. When you swipe right, it means ka-ching, yes, I'm accepting that, I'm receiving that. So in this case, when we swipe right, it's about letting the money in. So on this one, Jerky Richard, you've read the profile, you're like, for sure, I'm swiping left on this guy. He's not good for me. I don't like the way he thinks. Like, no.
Right.
Then what happens? You swipe right. And you're like, whoa, what happened? Why did I do that? You stupefy yourself. It's because of the programming that's running in your mindset, your body set, and your heart set. This program is so deep and so unconscious and so in the body that just runs autonomically, that it just overrode part of your sanity. So you're like, okay, fine, I'm going on to the next profile. Dreamy Moolah, here he is. He's representing the truth about money. And he says in his profile, if you like partnership, if you like fun, support, giving and receiving, and harmony, together we'll have a great love. How does that one sound, Lauren?
Much better.
Yeah. This is one you're like, for sure, this is the guy for me. This is the guy of my dreams. Right here, boom, I'm going to swipe right. Your left hand comes in and you swipe left. You're like, why did I do that? What just happened? It's your programming. Your programming, again, has overrode common sense. It's overrode your conscious mind. It's overrode a lot of things. So just for fun, I prepared this. Actually, this should say plentyofmoolah.com. Okay. So just for fun, I prepared like a more detailed dating profile on these guys as a comparison. So here's Dreamy Moolah for the truth of money. Here's Jerky Richard, the perception of money. So pick a couple of these out of here, Lauren, that you want to highlight.
Let's see. I always like why.
The big why?
The big
okay,
why.
So Jerky Richards is power and control. And Moolah's is to serve and make a difference.
There you go. Big difference.
Right.
And
I like also favorite movie. Wolf of Wall Street over here with Jerky Richard, and Caddyshack over here for Dreamy Moolah. He definitely likes to have fun.
Perfect.
Pick one more, Lauren.
The top values.
Top values. Yes. Significance is Jerky Richard. And over here for Dreamy, he's got security, love, and community. Wow. So we're having a lot of fun here, but this is actually serious business too.
Yes.
So Jerky Richard, this is kind of what goes hand in hand with this false perception, this false belief about money being hard, being difficult to get, as well as many other perceptions that we have. And then really the truth about money over here in the right-hand column, This is really how easy and fun and enjoyable and much of a partnership it can be for us. And so it's all about choice. Why do we swipe left when we should be swiping right? That's really in our best interest. We're going to go into that in a bit.
Okay.
And when in fear, let's first choose oxygen. So what happens is a lot of our choices are made out of fear. They're also made out of false beliefs, limiting decisions, but a lot of those are based out of fear. So we need to really go into identify the fear and clear the fear. And then a lot of other things go away. Like we have those Jenga blocks, they stack them up. You take that bottom one out, that linchpin, and the other ones go away. So a lot of people say to me, Olympia, I have a lot of money blocks. And I'm like, that's okay. We're going to find those linchpins down here. We're going to take those out and all the other ones go away. So you don't have to do one by one by one. You just pick the most significant ones that are holding up everything else. When we are choosing to swipe left when we should be swiping right on money, it's like we're an ostrich. We got our head in the sand. You can't see other choices. You are missing out on so many other opportunities. It's actually got a term, it's called opportunity cost. It comes from the world of economics. So when I'm busy doing this, whatever this is, I can't do that, right? Or I can't even see this one opportunity over here, which might be the best opportunity for me. But I'm so busy over here scratching in the sand like a chicken going, oh, I'm going to get a seed. But right over here, I can't see it, is a pot of gold. So the key is to eradicate money blocks at their sources. So here we are back at number one. We're going to talk about number one of the 7 steps.
Okay.
So here we go. So to eradicate them at their sources, first of all, we need to identify them. So I put them into 3 categories. We're going to start with the mindset because a lot of people are familiar with the word mindset, but not necessarily really the depth of mindset and really the sources of what's creating those mindset issues. So a lot of people think that they can change their money by changing their mindset only. And you see a lot of money set coaches or money mindset coaches or programs. They're only working on these superficial levels. Like I've actually taken some courses to see what other people are doing. And I'm astounded at the superficiality of it all. They're like, oh, go out and find, go out and look for money. Where's money coming to you? Okay, great. That doesn't actually change your money mindset, body set, or hot set. That's just throwing you on a wild goose chase. And you kind of feel good because you think you're doing the right thing. But the reality is that the mindset programs are false beliefs, limiting decisions, conflicting parts. We all have that. We all have a part of us, conflicting parts. So there's a part of us that wants to go to the gym. There's a part of us that wants to sit on the couch and watch Harry Potter movies and eat bonbons, right? And you're like, who's going to win today? I don't know. That's a silly example, but it is an example. And then it's all about how you do the money. So this is all this big category of mindset. And the way that I teach in my proprietary system to help people eradicate the mindset and reset it, basically, to flip that switch on it, to flip it back on because it's off. It's got some faulty wiring and those lights are not coming on. We need to flip it on. And when we do, we're changing it in the unconscious mind. The unconscious mind is where it lives. That's where it started. And that's where it must change. Right? We're back to the Band-Aid on the finger. Like, not going to work for the broken leg. We have to go to the broken leg. All right. Then we have body set, the second of the 3 pillars. So the body set, a lot of people don't think about, well, how do my money blocks affect my body? They're like, no, it's just in my mind. Well, newsflash. Yeah, it's in your body. It is in your neurology. It's in your nervous system. It's in your biochemistry, your physiology, and your posture. Your nervous system, here's what happens, just as an example. I'm actually running a whole 30-day Facebook series on this. Your nervous system is what gets activated when there's a threat. So think about how your something happens, like you have this fear about money. Okay, so you're afraid of something. How do you know you're afraid? How did you determine that you were afraid? This is happening in the brain, in the amygdala part of the brain, which is our reptilian part of our brain. And it works very, very basically. It says, am I safe or am I not? There's no gray area. That's it. It takes into account only 5 senses: your sight, smell, taste, hearing, and touch. So all day long, 24/7, all those senses are giving input to your amygdala, and it's choosing, am I safe or am I not? If you are determined to be not safe, it thinks you're being chased by a saber-toothed tiger, because that's how old this part of the brain is. Like, oh, I'm in danger. And when I'm in danger, holy Toledo, I don't need to be doing a lot of other things other than getting away from this danger and getting myself to safety. So it activates what's called the fight-flight response, which is your sympathetic nervous system, right?
Right.
When that gets activated, guess what? That's your body, baby. And I'm only talking about one small piece of body set, but it's a big piece. So it gets activated. So your body gets flooded with adrenaline and cortisol. It's like you stuck your finger into a light socket with a scissors, and you're like, zzz. You have a lot of energy because your body is preparing you to fight or flee. But instead, what most of us do is we actually freeze. So we are literally frozen. So a lot of people, and I'm sure you see this in the health arena, Lauren, is they don't want to move. And it's not because they don't necessarily think they don't want to move. It's because they're being restricted by their nervous system is like, hey, I'm under danger and I'm freezing right here, so I shouldn't be moving. Like, I'm trying not to be a target for these saber-toothed tigers. And if I just stay right here, they're not going to see me. So another part of this is that the whole cascade of effects, once the sympathetic nervous system is started, is the musculoskeletal system gets tight. It's literally like a straitjacket. And the muscles get tight, the body gets tight, it gets stiff, joints get locked. And it also creates a restriction around the chest, which makes it hard to breathe. So it's hard to breathe. Guess what? If you can't breathe, you're going to die pretty quickly. Yeah. That's the fastest thing you're going to die from, natural causes, is if you can't breathe, because it takes, a professional breather 3 minutes. Like those people who are doing those deep water dives, they could go 3 minutes. You and I, probably a minute and a half, maybe 2 on a good day. After that, we're gone. So it's a high alert to your amygdala. And it's a catch-22. It just keeps going. So the amygdala fires the alarm. We get tight. Adrenaline and cortisol are pumping. We're like this, but we're not moving. And then you can't breathe. And then that sends a loop back to the amygdala, and it goes, aha, I knew we were in danger, because now we can't breathe. So, okay, big problems. But when we don't breathe, we're not getting the oxygen that we need. And that oxygen is vital for every function of the body.
Yes.
People don't really understand that. And when you breathe out of your mouth, that's a labored, stressful breathing. That sends a signal to the amygdala. Anyway, we're going pretty deep here, but I want you guys to understand that the body is very much a part of this. And many people have had experiences with money that are akin to a trauma, or at least a stressor. And so we have these effects plus other ones going on in the body. So I want to do a little practical thing, a practical exercise with us for posture to give you an idea. I think you've done this before, Lauren, but let's do it together. So we're going to slouch. You're going to round your shoulders forward, curl your body forward, and drop your head. And now try to breathe. Kind of hard, right?
Yes.
Okay. Try to think happy, positive, powerful, confident thoughts. Can't really do it, can you?
Mm-mm.
Okay. Come on out of that. Let's get you out of that. That's part of the body. Then the opposite of that is, yeah, you don't like that. Like it's just kind of like a ugh feeling, right? So you put your hands on your waist, and we're not going to do it now, but you would stand, feet are hip width apart or wider. Notice your chest is open, your throat is open, you can breathe, and you're sending signals to your amygdala. Hey, I'm safe. Look at me. I'm standing here. I can expose my chest. This is actually a protection posture. Mm-hmm. So I'm safe. I can feel good. Try to think happy, positive thoughts now.
Well, yes, this is our Wonder Woman stance.
Exactly.
I'm used to it. I'm used to it. Yes.
All right. So we'll move on to heart set.
See, there she is.
There she is. She's back.
Yay.
It's our sister. All right. So heart set. This is the third of the three sources that are creating money blocks back there at step one. And step one here, the heart set is about these stuck emotions that we have. The top two stuck emotions related to money are fear and sadness. A lot of people don't think about that. And anger is a very close third. So we've gone a lot into the fear, but the sadness, what's really interesting is it can be sadness represents a loss. And so it could be that you had money and now you've lost it. Or here's the kicker, Lauren. It could be the projection of a potential loss. Like, oh, I'm not going to have that ever. That's a sadness. Or I wish I could have that and I don't have that. That's a sadness. So these are very deep emotions that get stuck in the body set. They also get stuck in the mindset. And then we start to make up these stories, these false beliefs, these limiting decisions. And then boom, boom, boom. All three of these interact with each other. They're all like this. So when we do a technique, say, to release the heart set and reset it, we might be working on the mindset. We might be working on the body set. And then when we're working to release something in the mind, we might be working on the heart set or the body set. They're all intertwined. And they must be, it's like one of those, those rubber band balls people put together. They're all like, yeah. That's kind of how it is. Another part of the heart set is connection and community. We are wired, particularly as women, to be in community. It is vital for us if we want to be our best selves. Like if we just want to hang out and, be our own kingdom, be our own island over there. Okay, that's a different story, but I don't think that's where we're going. I think we want to be connected. Yeah. I think we want to share the joys of life and the challenges of life with others. And we grew up in a community. Our community at first was our family. And then extensions of the family, or some people have churches. That's another community. Other people have like common interest groups, like business groups or meditation groups, whatever it is. Being in a community is very safe, as well as very freeing. And it's also fun because when we're all have a common interest, and we don't actually have to have the exact same common interest, but the common interest might just be helping each other, then we can all get to where we're going faster, easier, and certainly with more fun. And we leverage our resources, kind of like what you and I do. Like we have a great relationship in that way.
Exactly.
And then having just that heart-to-heart connection with people, like we love to love. Like, let's not love to love. Let's do it.
Right.
And And when we're all alone, we get cut off from all of these resources, and we get cut off from this kind of energizing source, as well as helping to add beauty and meaning to life when we're connected to other people. So one area where we tend to get a little wonky here in the heart set is with receiving. So women tend to be givers. And it's great to give, but it's also great to receive. And we really need that harmony, because if we're giving, giving, giving all the time, then we've given our oxygen mask away, right? And especially if we do it to our detriment. Like I've seen so many women, and it just breaks my heart when they're talking about, oh, you know, and I'm exaggerating, but you know, I'm sitting here eating crackers and water, and that's enough for me. I don't need any more. Like I'm fine. You know, I've given my steak and I've given my healthy vegetables to these other people over here because they needed it more than I did. Well, guess what? If you're not taking care of yourself, you can't sustain yourself, nor can you sustain your contributions. So does that make sense? Oh, I can't hear you, Lauren.
Oh, yes, of course it makes sense to me, Olympia, because that's my whole platform is about putting yourself first and taking care of yourself and how important health is. Because if you don't feel well, how can you help others? Same thing with the money. If you don't have the money, how can you share and be generous with others if you're not taking care of yourself in financially, your own body and your own happiness? It's like everything falls apart. You need all the components. So it makes perfect sense to me, because this is my whole purpose is to get people to around this. Yes, to realize how important this is. And it's great to be generous, but then it's to a fault sometimes. Like you were saying, she gives all of her food away to help others. That makes her feel good for the moment. But then how long can she sustain that? Not very long.
Exactly. So these programs that we have that are driving our money blocks also drive other areas of our life. So how you do money is how you do life. So the other areas of life are health, relationship, career, money, spirituality, and personal growth. So all of those areas, the programs are running those also. So when you get your money, you know, if you ever worked with me and my teachings, once you get that right, get your money blocks out of the way, it's like magic, because so many other areas of your life start to get better. And I'm sure you've seen that too, right, Lauren? Once they get their programs changed, then they can be healthier, right? So why do we want money? Because it's never really about the money, really. I mean, what do you want? You want to get the money and put it in your mattress, like just stockpile it there, like they used to do in the Old West? Probably not. You want money for what it can do for you, for what it is that you value, and what you feel like your mission is in life, to support you with that, to be connected with other people and to help other people. So yeah, what is it? What can it do for you and for others? So I listened to an interview, this was years ago, with Bill Gates. And the interviewer was really enamored with Bill Gates' money. And he really wanted to talk about money all the time. And Bill Gates he's like, not really feeling it. But okay, I'm trying to do my best to answer your questions. And the guy asked him something like, well, what do you do with all your money? Like, it must be awesome to do whatever you want. And, you know, you have all this money. And Bill said something like, money has no utility for me and my family once my needs are met. Its only utility is in how I can use it to help other people. Powerful. I thought that was brilliant. And it really is quite truthful. It's when people get into those states of fear that they hoard the money, you know, or they don't share money, or they don't share other resources, because they're in that mentality of scarcity. which is fear driven, kind of what we're seeing now, like with the virus, and people are hoarding the toilet paper. God knows about the toilet paper, but also they're hoarding, like the masks. And so it's not that that's what we're really programmed for, but this wonky programming that we've developed, and I actually haven't shared with you how we developed those programs. So we develop them as we're growing. So when we first are born, we cannot survive by ourselves. We need our parents to provide for us and to protect us. So we place our security outside of ourselves with our parents. Has to happen that way because we can't do it on our own. Then, and as such, we are part of a community, of a tribe, and that is that family unit. So we will do anything to stay in the good graces of our parents up to a point, just to be able to stay in the tribe. Because if we got ousted from the tribe, we would die, and we know we would die. Think about a little baby. If it's just out there, nobody around, it can't take care of itself. So what happens is we adopt the fears, the beliefs, the limiting decisions, the patterns, the biases, the stuck emotions of our parents. We just adopt that because we look at them and we go, oh, well, it's kept them safe. And look at, they're taking care of me. It must be a good idea. Okay, I'm gonna take that in. That's mine now. So that's kind of how it starts. And then we expand out to other authority figures, things like media, things like people at church, other communities. So we just adopt that. And then as we get older, then we start to have our own experiences with money. And then we can draw our own conclusions. And for the most part, we pile that on top of the programming that we've already had, because we're looking through this lens of all of this bias that we have in this programming. So how much can you really see of the truth? Sometimes you can get some of it, many times you don't, because you're looking at it through these filters. So we start to develop our own. There we go. You have your rose-colored glasses on. Very nice, Lauren. By the way, I can't hear you. I don't know if I'm supposed to not hear you. There we are.
No, I said that's correct. These are my money glasses.
Money glasses. I love them. So here's a fun thing for us to ponder. What are the top 3 things that women want to do with money? Do you know? Any ideas?
Travel.
Yep.
And what else? Go to fine dining, buy big homes.
I love it. Yeah. Well, it's for some it might be fine dining, but overall the women as a group are to travel more. And guess what that is? That's really being in community more, because they want to learn about the cultures and experience other people and how they live. Right. They also want to have more time with their loved ones, which includes more time with themselves, one of the loved ones. And the third one is to give back. And that's community too. So it's really all community, it's all connection. And that's why it's so important to have our heart set open. So here's some little key.
Earlier, the more you have, the more you can share and be generous. I was just teasing because we're all generous. Everybody in our tribe, we lead with our heart. We're very generous, and that's why we are connected. And that's why you're on the show, and everybody else on the show is the same pattern and same heart centered. That whole mindset about giving. So
exactly. Well, I'm actually here at my parents' house up in Lodi. I was going to stay for a week, but then the whole virus scare happened. I've been here 2.5 weeks, and I'm going to stay till the end. It's probably going to be a couple of months, I'm guessing. But I'm staying here to help them, part of my community, but also because I really want to make a difference for them. And while I'm here, I realized that, you know what? There are so many people who are suffering from fear and their nervous systems being jacked up right now. I asked myself, well, what can I do? Like, what can I do for people who are in this state and they don't know how to get out of it? And I do. So I thought, okay, I cannot deny that to people right now. So I'm doing actually a Facebook series called Money Fear is Real and How You Change It on my personal page. It's 30 days. I've never done a 30-day series. Boy, that's a commitment, Lauren. I know, talking about commitments.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And so I'm sharing, and it's for free. So anybody who wants to listen to that and participate, we give a little bit of information about a subject. We talk about it, we share. And then I actually go into specific techniques that we do real time to change the heart set, mindset, and body set. So that's how I thought I could make a bigger difference in this time of need with so many people.
Awesome.
So you want to make a bigger difference. How do you do that? Well, you're going to need some money. You're pretty much going to need it. So in order to get more money, you're going to need to change your relationship with money. How much money did Mother Teresa have?
None.
Any ideas?
I don't think she had any, did she?
Well, she personally took a vow of poverty. However, people gave her money.
Right. And
she kept it in the Vatican bank.
She had a GoFundMe account.
She had the Vatican's GoFundMe version.
There you go.
As well as many other people throughout the world, not just the Vatican, but it was in the Vatican bank. And she had so much money that if she had withdrawn it, it would have emptied the entire bank. Yeah. It was hard to find this statistic because the only people who truly know how much she had are the nuns, and they're not talking. They are keeping it a secret. But I found this article in India today. It was an India publication. So they were able to get that. So for her mission, she needed money and her needs were met. Even though she personally didn't make money, she was a huge conduit for it. And those people who donated to her and her causes took more than good care of her personal needs as she was taking care of others. So let's see how we're doing on time. I think we're doing great. All right. So we're going to go on a date. Ready, set, go. Our perception of money. Here's some disempowering things that are happening. So here's some beliefs. Money is a source of stress, anxiety, problem, sacrifice, blah, 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 blah. Wealthy people are greedy, mean, selfish, targets. This is all, and we may not have all of these, but these are just some of the common ones. Money is evil. Money is security, disconnection. It's scary. And if I have more, someone else will have less. That is one of the biggest farces that are out there. But a lot of women believe that. So let's have a little fun. We're going to fill in the blank. Money is blank. So you folks who are listening, just do this on your own as you're watching and fill it in. Money is blank, whatever it is for you. The first thing that comes to your mind, not the one that you think you're supposed to say. It's the one that comes to mind first. When I am rich, fill in the blank. And rich people are blank. So a common problem that women have is they have a belief that rich people are evil, they're mean, they use other people, whatever flavor of the day it is for them. Then the problem becomes, okay, so they make some money, but they don't want to keep it and they can't keep it. They spend it because once they get it with this belief, they would have to be evil or bad because now they have money. So they're like, oh, hot potato, I have to get rid of this because I'm not a bad person. I'm a good person. So that's one. Imagine that you have a 7-figure net worth. What are the top 3 things you would do with your money? We can all ponder that. We can take notes. That's a little tidbit for you. Now, why would money date you? We're talking about you dating money, but why would money date you? Money likes happiness. It likes trust. It likes respect, communication, love, all of these things. Now, how are you treating money? I was doing a webinar the other day, and somebody typed in the chat, she said, I've been mistreating money. Like, she owned that. And, you know, maybe you are, maybe you aren't, but I'm just saying, take a look at that. Maybe you are. Maybe you aren't respecting it. Maybe you don't really, really want it. You just know that you have to have it to do certain things. And you still think it's filthy or it's dirty or it's whatever, fill in the blank. But when you can come to a healthy relationship with it, then, wow, the sky's the limit. There's really no limit, because then you've got all of these wonderful access to your dreams and your goals and helping other people. So just imagine that you're going to go on a date with money. Here's some tips. You want to set your intention. You're going to clear your mind. Whatever that is for you, can take some deep breaths. You can do a little meditation, whatever you like to do. You can run around the block. You can lift some kettlebells, whatever works for you. And then this is a system I've developed called the visceral visualization. And so what you want to do is you want to walk through the date in your mind as if it's happening. What do you see? What do you hear? What are you feeling? What are you tasting, smelling? What are you saying to yourself, this inner voice? And then see yourself as being happy, safe, having a good time. And then here's a potential couple of topics. What do you want to talk about when you're on the date? What questions do you have? What do you want to share about yourself? So I really want you guys to take some time and do this. We don't have time to do it right now, but I wanted to share that with you. And then imagine yourself on the actual date. Who are you there with? Where is it? What's the conversation? What's the connection? Are you guys having fun? What are you eating? And what memories will you cherish from this date? So what money relationship do you want to choose? Because that's what it is. It's a choice. So I've been working with money a very long time. But what I've discovered in my 33 years, I know I look so youthful, but I have been at it for even more than that. 33 years is that I've been a business consultant for over 25 years. And I have had focused on the systems and the processes and the tools and the cash flow, which I still do. But what I noticed is that so many women never got out of the starting block to be able to use those systems or to benefit from them or the tools or the processes, because they have these big roadblocks, these big walls with their mindset, body set, and heart set. So if you're trying to pour water over a stone, it's not going to go in that stone. It's just not going to happen. So I refocused into, this is the common denominator right here. We have to get women up to the challenge so that they can really thrive and flourish. So I can help you swipe right on money at all the right times. And what I have for you is a free gift.
Yay.
I love free gifts. I'm sure you do too. So, and it's a quiz. Who doesn't love a quiz?
My money block.
What you get with this, it's mymoneyblocks.com. You take the quiz. It's very simple. You will know what's happening with your money blocks. It gives you a score within a range, and it kind of gives you a description of where you are and what's happening for you, maybe some areas that could use some improvement. So it sends you an email back right away with the details. And also, I would like to offer your folks $500 off my Mind Over Money Makeover program. That's the Mind Over Money Makeover. It's my 7-week signature online course. And women who take that typically double, triple, or quadruple their income within 2 to 6 months. That's what they get. They get to eradicate their money blocks out of the mindset, body set, and heart set. They're also going to unleash their feminine money superpowers of intuition, receiving, and community. It is such a transformational course. So I wanted to offer everyone $500 off that course. And you can go to womenchoosewealth.com to learn more about that. And if somebody wants to talk to me personally, I'm available for that as well. You can reach me at olympia@womenchoosewealth.com. And I'd be happy to answer any questions, steer you in the right direction. And I could, potentially do a strategy session with you too, with no obligation.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Well, that is a lot to take in, my dear. That's why.
Yippee!
That's why you're the queen of wealth. You've got all these different strategies and techniques, and you understand it. And I love that whole concept of dating it. I mean, we went through a lot of things. You're very generous with your gifts. So I want to thank you for that, for sure.
You're welcome.
Yeah. So if you want $500 off, go to Mind Over Money Makeover. I love that. Right. .com, and they can reach you with your email. I love the free gift, mymoneyblocks.com. That's awesome. I'm going to do it myself. Yay.
Oh, you're going to love it. And also remember the Facebook live series I have, Money Fear is Real and How to Change It. Totally free, 30 days. And you can go back and watch the ones you've missed. We're on day 11 today. Yeah.
Nice.
My gift to you guys.
Yay. You're so generous.
Yeah.
All right, my dear. Well, the queens, we are available as well. The two of us, the Queen of Health and the Queen of Wealth, the dynamic duo, to when things change around. We're going to be doing speaking events and live events together. We're
absolutely
stages, and really do a whole duo on these two categories, because without the one, without the health, what's your wealth, and vice versa. People build their whole lives building their wealth, and then they don't have the health to enjoy it. So it's just great. But that's what we're finding, and you've really solved a lot of problems. And I really like that whole mindset about the blank, your little free thing. The money is what, and when I'm rich, what? Rich people are what?
What?
And, I'm going to be thinking about that myself.
Mm-hmm.
So very exciting, my dear. Well, the Power Hour. We can talk forever, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
to Wonder Women. Got to get you a cup.
Yes, I would love one.
Yes. So anyways, anything else, my dear, before we just wrap this thing up, because we're at the 1 hour mark, and I just want to make sure everybody has all your gifts.
Perfect.
And find you.
I just want to leave everybody with, let's make money fun.
Yes.
Let's have fun together with money, and let's have an awesome, hot, steamy relationship with it. Why not? It's a lot easier than what we've been doing.
No kidding. I'm in, baby. I'm in. I want to date money myself. So I'm excited, looking forward to all your information and putting it to work and implementing. And because without my health, what's my wealth? Same thing. So
exactly. And thank you, Lauren. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you for being a wonderful guest on the show, the Power Hour. I'm your host, Lauren Powers. Until the next session, you guys be safe out there. Have a wonderful time. And the Queen of Health and the Queen of Wealth signing off. Mwah. Yay. Yeah. How's our crowns?
Yeah.
I love it. We got to practice that. All right, Olympia. Thank you, hon.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye, everyone.